Hey guys, my name is Matt, newest sponsored athlete, part of Full Ball Sports. Today we're going to cover a chest session. So we're currently waiting on the bench to be free, but we'll run through some basics today. My whole training ethos is around classic, old sort of like, basic fundamental movements that I incorporate in all my training that kind of brings back that slight old school feel to working out. Hence the t-shirt. I wore this for a special occasion today. It's going to be some pretty basic movements, nothing anyone has not seen before. Bench press, dumbbell press, maybe 2 or 3 incline movements, and then a fly. So not much to it, just chest, nothing crazy. Probably do about 5 exercises, 2 free sets depending on what it is. Enjoy. It's literally feel on the day. I always try and go a little bit heavier or do a bit more reps than I did previously. And I don't write any of the stuff down like I tend to remember. But it's mostly how it feels. If it doesn't feel as smooth as it usually would, I definitely play it safe and go with a weight that I know I can do and just maybe get a bit more reps from it. Now this is a warm-up hopefully. But it might be a workout, who knows? We'll do a warm-up and see how it feels. If it feels a bit sticky, then we'll work. If it feels good, we'll go up. I don't know. What I would usually do in a situation like this where I'm unsure whether to go up or to work on this, I'll work on this for like 8 to 10 reps, but I won't go to failure. And then I'll go up. And that's when I'll go to failure. So I think that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a working set, but like, I don't know, not reps in reserve, but there's something in reserve. And then we'll kind of attack it properly on the second set. This is like, yeah, I can do more, but if I put a 10 on this, am I going to get enough reps to make it worthwhile? You know what I mean? Probably not, because I'm still a little bit cold. So and also am I going to be safe? So I'd rather just do this with a weight I know I can handle. Get it for how many? Maybe 10, stop there, even if I've got 12 or 13, and then go up on the second one. Yeah? And then take that to complete failure. 1, 2, yep. Thank you. Yep, I got it. It wasn't like crazy taxing, like I had a couple more reps in me. But I'd rather save a little bit and then chuck a bit more towards that second set, Okay. 1, 2, yep! I got it. Yeah. Thank you. I just think about my chest. Like I'm just I'm chasing like a good contraction. Hence why whenever I feel like I'm losing the connection with my upper chest, I would pause. And then I go. That's why my reps are they're slow at the bottom and I go up in a straight line. Which came from practice. Like my rep cadence and the line that I stay in is pretty consistent. I think training like this and mastering that form, there's a different look to the muscle for sure. If you look at someone that just trains not exclusively on free weights, but have a good mixture and do the hard things like this, there's a difference in how that muscle looks compared to someone who exclusively trains on machines. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dynamic movement in the actual rep itself that you're getting from this that you won't get from a machine. And it just demands more of your body. as well, like stabilizing, control, and contracting is very, there's a lot of plates spinning there. You know, in the machine, I can just sit there, pin my shoulder blades back, and press. This requires a lot more of your body. It's way more taxing. The hardest part about this exercise is rolling the dumbbells into place. And if you see here, this is quite an obstacle course. I have to try and get like a 60 kilo dumbbell between there, and then I have to spin it around. I've done it so many times that I've got a neat foot trick I'll show you guys in a sec. I'll maybe do like 3 warm-ups on this, just so, because I know, judging how the 40s felt, I'm probably gonna work on 60 kilos. Maybe, because I'm gonna do 50s in a minute, and that'll be my 3rd warm-up. So that might be my last warm-up. And I'll do like 60s. It might be the same approach as at the incline barbell, where I basically do 60s but don't go to failure, and then maybe do 70s, and then maybe go down to 60s or stay at 70, I don't know. We'll see. But what I know right now, I'm knackered, so here comes the dumbbell obstacle course. All right. Now, instead of bending down and picking this up, turning it, which might cost me a rep, I just do this and roll. Also this, instead of turning it around, rolling it, that might cost me a rep, I do this instead. Yeah.
Is that backed by science?
That is science-based. On a typical day, well, 50% of the time, I'll probably go take bigger jumps on my warm-ups. So instead of 30, 40, and 50s, I probably would have gone 40, 50, and 60, you know, and then work on like a 75, and then come down from there. But half the time it goes like this. Leave some reserve, which is still effective. Work the failure on the 2nd, and work the failure on the 3rd. Okay. I think we can do that again. Yeah. Might not look like failure, but that was failure. To be fair, I'll probably get 8 or 9, and then I'll do a drop set. So I'm not gonna get the weight that I need now because I don't know what that's gonna be. If I get 9, I'll go heavier than I would if I get 8. So, and obviously the walk to the dumbbell rack is gonna give me more rest. So strategic. I think that was failure. Yeah.
So is it always the same exercises when you train chest, or is it?
Generally, the order would change. I've got like a list of exercises that I go to. So they usually involve some kind of flat dumbbell or incline dumbbell presses, flat barbell or incline barbell press, a Smith, and some kind of fly variation, whether it being like a mid-pec fly or an incline fly. This gym has probably some of the best equipment for chest and back, but I tend to do the same exercises using the same things you can find in most gyms. Like I've tried, I train the way I do because I've actually ventured out and compared other, I've trained with JP for 2 years doing push-pull legs. Didn't logbook, but like I got to the point where, my program at the time involved predominantly, or mostly machines, and I was stacking every machine in the gym. I'm not saying this to brag, but the progressive overload, obsessively, I got really strong, but I wasn't growing at the same rate as I was getting stronger. So it took me 2 years to realize it, but since then I've kind of gone back to my way of training, which I knew how, which is like I know people call it like a bro split now, which is single body part split, and that's where I've made the most amount of progress. So my idea is to train a muscle fully. If you know you only had one chance to do something, you got to make sure that you do it at your utmost best. So that's my approach to training. So if I know I'm only going to be able to train chest once this week, I want to be able to train it to the fullest of my ability, and then come back and do it again next week. If I know I'm training chest again in 4 days, yeah, I can go hard, but then at the back of my mind, I'm always going to be able to justify not doing something. You know what I mean? Because I know, I'm going to do it again in 4 days' time. And that's where I found for me and the people that I work with, where the best results are. Bro split. We'll do a drop set. Ah, fuck. Ah, that's it. I don't know if it's the angle of this machine or maybe I'm just weak at it, but it's fucking hard. If anyone's used this machine before, please tell me it's not just me. So hard. We can put a 3 on. We can put 3 plates on. But am I gonna get 8 reps? You just want me to injure myself so it makes good video, Backing out. 10 reps, not bad, not bad. Alright. We can do that again. I want to try and basically fail at 8. 8 to 10, yeah. If I do my set where I'm expecting to get 8 to 10, and there's more, I'll do more. I've done sets where I expect to get 10 and I'll get like 15, because most of the times I train alone, so I want to go to failure somehow. If I'm with a training partner, I'll kind of rely on them to like spot, not just spot me, but like to like see like how the reps are looking. Maybe he's got one more, so they'll push me to get one more. Obviously, a good training partner, someone who's able to spot that, Like I'm always trying to connect with the chest or my muscles, whatever I'm training. But if I'm literally can't complete the rep, that to me is fun. If I'm on my own and I can't complete the rep, I would obviously attempt it. And often it would look like how this last rep looked on this first set, where I'm not quite locking my arm out and I'm trying. Like that's where it would end. I'm not gonna try and attempt something and go like, oh, I can't do it. You know, I would try and get to at least 3/4 of the way. Last exercise, yeah, flies. I would alternate between an incline fly and a mid-pec fly. So, or sometimes I'll get really old school and do like a dumbbell fly. Because being bodybuilders, so like if you're pursuing the stage or a pro card or a physique that's not like obtainable by your average gym goer, meaning that you've put a lot of like, you know, extreme attention towards your goal, being eating 6 meals a day, you know, pushing most of your money that you get towards supplementation, food, you know, being selfish with your time and having to train a certain time of the day, every single day, or 5 days a week, whatever you do your thing. If you're gonna put this much effort into something, my expectation is that you want to get the most out of it, right? So, in order to get the most out of it, you want to go down a road that's been proven to work. Okay, and the road that's been proven to work is the road that every Olympian or every bodybuilder you've looked up to has gone down, which, to put it bluntly, is a bro split. Okay, why do anything different when we don't have the data to back it up? Why do an upper lower? Why do a push pull legs? Like, there's no data to show X Olympian has done this and achieved X and achieved Y, you know? So you're putting this much effort and losing friends, family, you know, putting your health at risk to get the most out of something. Why would you go down a road that's not been proven to give you the results that you're looking for? Why not go down the road that everyone else has gone down, who's looking amazing? Does that make sense? Job done. What got me into bodybuilding? It's not anything. I think it's probably a similar story to most like older bodybuilders. For me, I've always trained to like look good, mainly for girls. As I was growing up, and from a young age, I've kind of like worked in gyms from the age of like 21, 22. Got my first gym job. Not knowing anything about bodybuilding, but I know I just wanted to like have big arms, big chest, and a big back. Not much legs. Like, and I've kind of just, I think one day I was at reception. I was working for an LA Fitness. Yeah, this is it. It was LA Fitness. I was on reception, and someone brought in like a muscular development magazine, and I think it had Kai Green at the front of it, and it had the tagline Quadzilla, and I was like, shit, who's this guy? And then like the guy that brought it in was like, oh, it's Kai Green. You don't know about bodybuilding? I was like, no. And I just liked the photo, and then I was like, right, I need to start training legs. And then from then my legs training starts, and then like the whole idea of like, you know, being more balanced and like training to like having an X frame and not just having big arms. And then it kind of progressed. The more I entered like more advanced gyms, like that's when I found Muscle Works for the first time. And then the guys there were like, you know, you look good, you should compete. I was like, what's competing? And then, you know, just kind of following it from there. Like random, like coincidental, like, you know, encounters to like guys competing in the gym, to guys talking about competing, to guys telling me I should compete. And then looking into it, finally, like I had a girlfriend at the time that then took the leap before I did, and she did her first show. Then I went to her show and saw the bodybuilders that did the men's bodybuilding category, and I was like, okay, I could probably beat some of these guys. And that's when I started like taking it seriously. I'm 38, not married, long-term girlfriend. I have 2 cats. I have 2 fluffy Maine Coons. I live in Norwich. My height, I think I'm like 5'7", not that tall, or just below 5'7". I'm not a tall person, but that's it. Yeah, likely to see me compete possibly next year. I'm not sure. Like at the moment, I'm just kind of enjoying this space of like being functional, semi-functional, semi-normal. Give some time back to like spending time with my girlfriend and just develop my business a bit more, and just kind of like living life a little bit. I've been in a bodybuilding bubble for a very long time, so it feels quite good to like have a looser approach to things like diet and the rigidity of a schedule. Next year, who knows? I might get the itch to do an off season at the end of this year, so we'll see. I will be a bodybuilder. Like Arnie said, I'm going to die a bodybuilder. You'll always see me in the gym. like I say to people who step away from bodybuilding, my girlfriend recently stepped away from bodybuilding, and she does more like functional sort of like performance type training. And I've got no interest in doing anything other than lifting weights. So like, no matter how old I get or like how far removed I am from competing, I'm always going to be in the gym training chest, shoulders, and arms.